Well, obviously, the game is upon us, and we are looking at the Bears as they search for their first victory. And it was not surprising, but it was very interesting the way the kind of national media took the story of Ben Johnson kind of calling out the practice habits, not championship caliber, and everybody seemed to be commenting upon it. Now, by all accounts, he said that to the team before he said it to the media, and we know coaches always use the media to their end. How will that impact the Bears? How has it impacted them? Do you think they're on call at this point?
No, I don't think anybody's on call. Listen, this struck a chord nationally because how many times have you heard the coach say, we had a good day of practice, more often probably a great day of practice, and then on Fridays, we had a great week of preparation. So, the Bears had an alarming record after the coach declared they had a good or great week of practice going. So Ben Johnson mixed it up. I just think he is trying to raise the standard on a daily basis for every step of the way, on game day, on each day of preparation during the week as the players try to hone in. So, I don't think we're going to see something dramatically different Sunday simply because he chided the players for lacking championship practice habits.
When DJ Moore says that it prompted players to, quote, just go out there and prove him wrong, what do you think that says about the reaction to Ben Johnson's declaration?
I just don't think I don't think they had a group of guys out there half-assing it before he told them that they didn't have championship practice habits. Like, listen, they went hard Wednesday, okay? They practiced indoors in the Walter Payton Center yesterday, which was certainly a little bit unusual for what was a warm, sunny day. So it's like, well, why are they practicing inside? It's a home game. It's on grass. Thursday's their weigh-in day. The players got to weigh in on Thursdays when they report. And, guys that are overweight, there's a fine, right? Well, they practice outdoors Wednesday. They went hard. They showed up Thursday morning to weigh in, and a bunch of guys, I guess, had dropped some weight. So in order to practice in a cooler environment, because it was warm out yesterday afternoon, they practiced inside yesterday. You got to take care of your players' bodies. You got to take care of them physically. So yeah, they went hard Wednesday. I still think we're probably overanalyzing.
You think he didn't mean it?
DJ?
No, Ben Johnson. I mean, are you saying he said it for effect?
No, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he did mean it, but I also don't think they had guys that were, mailing it in week 2, week 3 for a new head coach. I don't like they've had execution problems in the games. In fact, I know they have, and. Yeah, I mean, we're in the weeds here now, right?
I don't know. I think it's significant. I think when you have your head coach calling out your players after he told them that privately, I don't think it's. I don't think it's an insignificant.
This would be really big if he was calling out a position group or a player, he's saying this, the whole team.
Brad, they haven't had a coach talk this way since Lovie Smith.
Tell me the last time Lovie said something like that, too. They maybe haven't had a coach that has talked like this since Ditka.
Okay. When I say that since Lovie Smith, probably in terms of just respect level. Somebody who commands respect when he says things because he means what he says. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we'll see. We'll see what what happens here. But are you gonna draw the? Are you gonna connect the dot from a win Sunday to him saying they lack championship practice habits?
Probably. If they play hard, yes, absolutely. You call out your team publicly and you go out and you win on Sunday, there's a direct line between the two.
Well, they lack, in terms of if you're talking about championship level stuff, they lack more than just the practice habits.
Brad, Tyreek Stevenson has a 158.3 passer rating against. In other words, quarterbacks that pick on him have a perfect passer rating. So that would seemingly indicate that maybe he is not equipped to do the things he's expected to do against the quality of receiver he's going against. Certainly, many a corner has run into problems with Jalen Jefferson, with Amon-Ra St. Brown, and with C.D. Lamb, frankly, or George Pickens. So I think that it's going to be fascinating to see, and I don't want to say how he plays, but how he's deployed. Can he do what they're asking of him? I know that the defensive coordinator doesn't want to talk about the past and how they got there, but the reality is, and I know he said that he's never really worked with Jalen Johnson and didn't have him in the preseason, but he thought he was going to have him. Now that you know you don't have him, do you acknowledge that you're doing stuff that can't be done by this guy? Are you trying to figure out how to protect him? Are you going to try to play more zone? We got to get to the quarterback? But if you try to get to the quarterback and you can't get stuff on the back end, we're going to have guys running through the defense and scoring touchdowns again. I mean, what is the dilemma that the defensive coordinator faces when a player has that statistic going against him?
Yeah, well, Dennis Allen's kind of in between a mystery and an enigma here in terms of how he's going to fix things in the secondary. I saw that Tyreek Stevenson stat. I've seen a different number at other places that wasn't quite as high, but was in the 150s. Like, we don't need a stat to know that he's played poorly. We've seen it. Tyreek should be a really good fit for people talking about what Dennis likes to do in terms of playing press man coverage. He's a big, physical corner, strong. He's got length. What he struggles to do is chase fast wide receivers from one side of the field to the other, like we saw him have to try to do against the Detroit Lions. So do they go to more zone? Like, listen, Dennis Allen isn't strictly press man. Like, he's very multiple in what he's done. Do they go with more too high stuff to try to prevent plays over the top, to allow the DBs underneath to be aggressive with the technique, with their leverage, and force Dak Prescott to try to throw the ball in the tighter windows? I think that's a possibility. The pass rush hasn't been there whatsoever, and so in any dissection of a defensive back, I think you've got to point that out. That they talk about the marriage of the pass rush and the coverage. Well, and how it's been a divorce of those two for the Bears, right? Like, they haven't worked together. They don't have a replacement that I see right now where you say, well, maybe they'll give Tyreek some time off here. He's going to have to play his way out of this. Do they add a new piece to the mix this week? I don't know. They've got Dallas Flowers on the practice squad. Ton of experience in San Francisco over the summer, starting for them during a bunch of training camp. We'll see. Tyreek's got to be better. The pass rush has to be better, and I'm sort of curious to see how Dennis reacts, at least this week, against a team with a couple great wide receivers, the veteran quarterback. plan's going to change week to week. What does Dennis have cooked up for Sunday afternoon?
What does Matt Eberflus have cooked up for Caleb Williams? I think that maybe that will be something that balances out because of their mutual knowledge of each other. At the same time, if Matt Eberflus, out of character perhaps, comes at Caleb Williams with a little bit more pressure than he's accustomed to sending, then I think that could be a potential issue for the Bears.
Yeah, well, no, it's what does Matt Eberflus have up his sleeve? Remember that comment? It was like halftime of the Panthers game.
Yeah,
it's what does he have up his sleeve? I think Matt Eberflus will try to keep Caleb Williams in the pocket. Like that's what you want to accomplish with him right now. That's what the Detroit Lions set out to do in that game last week after seeing him run the ball in that opener against the Vikings. Like I think I mentioned to you guys, I talked to Josh Metellus, the Vikings safety, and he said he thought Caleb was faster than he was as a rookie. So the Lions saw what he was able to do. They said, we want to try to keep him in the pocket, make him a pocket thrower, which he was better at this past week. No question, Caleb was better as a pocket thrower against Detroit. Bears wound up scoring 21 points. I think Eberflus would be happy to keep Caleb in the pocket, but they've got the same issue going on in Dallas in terms of no pass rush, no coverage, no good defense.
This segment with Brad Biggs is sponsored by Estwing Professional Tools, made in the USA for over 100 years. If you're looking for a positive out of the Bears season thus far and you're searching maybe, how about the fact that they have scored on their opening drive, scored a touchdown on their opening drive in consecutive games. And they struggled with that, we know, a year ago. Brad, you can't help but wonder why they can't do that coming out of halftime. And I know there was, they didn't do the right job in the first game. In the second game, they had a penalty. I'm just curious, with the scripted plays, why can't they just script the whole game? Why can't they script every drive? Because what's happening hasn't been working after the opening drive.
Yeah, for the first issue is it's really hard to script it when you don't know what type of situation you're going to be in terms of down in distance, where you're at on the field, things of that nature. Someone, I think Declan Doyle was asked about scripting the plays for when they come out of the third quarter,
right?
Which is an interesting idea. Sometimes they will pay particular attention to the first 10, first 15, whatever it is. Those get highlighted during the practice week. Okay, so there's a reason why maybe they're dialed in on them in terms of going over them in walkthroughs, going over them in practice, the whole 9 yards. Probably not enough snaps in practice during the week to script yourself 65 to 70 plays. So that would be an issue. But I agree. Absolutely encouraging how they've been able to open the game and look in sync and move the ball. Like last year, not only were they not scoring, you were getting 3 and punt. So to see that has been certainly encouraging.
The Soldier Field record for longest field goal, I believe, is 59 yards. With Brandon Aubrey in town Sunday, is that in danger?
Well, that's a good question. Does Brian Schottenheimer have a 4th and 3 or less? Is he? Yeah, are they going to go for it? Like you see these coaches now, they just keep their foot on the gas. I think Matt Prater is one of 2 guys to hit from 59. He was with Detroit. I want to say that was 2015 or 2016. Kicked for Buffalo last night.
This dude hit from 64 yards last week with the game on the line.
Former college soccer player, Brad.
Yes.
They say those guys are geniuses.
Yeah, he's really, really talented. It'll be interesting to see what we've got in terms of weather. I think there's a chance for some rain this weekend. I don't know if there's going to be some wind with that, But you know what? That'll be fun to just straight up watch during warm-ups pregame in terms of what the outer range is and how he looks.
Montez Sweat has yet to have a sack. He is a very highly paid player. They gave up a second-round pick to get him, and then they gave him a $99 million deal, 98, whatever it was. What you hear always is that, well, he's on his own. You know, he's playing by himself. He's always double-teamed. Well, the reality is I believe there was one actual double team in the game against the Vikings, and I think the Lions actually purposely doubled him 5 times. So that's 6 double teams in the first 2 games. And I know that he might be I'm not counting him getting chipped or somebody. I mean, I understand the count might not be perfect, but the point is that he has yet to earn the salary he makes. And when we follow the money, it leads you back to the highest paid defensive player and the fact that that you're not getting the bang for your buck. How do you release him? How do you get him out of that? How do you help him? What do they need to do to get him playing better?
Yeah, it's a puzzle because he had a good training camp. Like I saw it, and it was a better training camp than we saw the previous summer. And he looked locked in. He was active, and that's yet to happen. He would have 1 sack had they not had offsetting penalties on that one play, but little production from him through 2 games. The sample size is still small, but that's concerning. Tremaine Edmonds, he's getting an awful lot of money to play the linebacker position. He needs to make more impactful plays. When your highest paid players are not some of your biggest contributors on a regular basis, it makes it more challenging to win football games. It's as simple as that.
All right, Brad, we got a minute. What's your pick?
Guys, I tried to talk myself into taking the Bears all week, looking at it and understanding that we have so many strong overreactions in the first week and week 2 that it tends to kind of skew your vision. The Bears aren't going to be as bad as they were against the Lions. But as I looked at it and I considered the possibilities of what could happen and understanding that the Bears defense looked really terrible the last 5 quarters, and kind of meshing that with the fact that the defense looked pretty good without Jalen Johnson for all of training camp, Kyler Gordon for much of training camp, because it was going against that Bears offense, guys. And at the end of the day, I wanted to take them, but considering that and knowing that the Cowboys have the clear edge in quarterback in terms of experience, production, things of that nature. I mean, you guys heard Ben Johnson. I think you guys brought it up, Dave. Ben Johnson just sort of gushed about Dak Prescott the other day. I've got Dallas 35-30. The Bears have lost their last 48 or 49 games when the opponent has scored 30 or more points. They are more prepared to play in a shootout right now with the personnel than they have been. Hopefully the defense takes a significant step forward.